I just want to start this video off by saying, what the hell are you supposed to use to jack these things up with? I've never touched a BMW before, and I've heard Adam LZ jokingly poke fun about getting BMWs up off the ground, but there's no normal jack points, there's no normal stand points, it's not like pinch welds or anything like that, and like I think I got it up safely and good enough. Nothing was denting in or like crunching or nothing, but yeah, it looks like you're supposed to have some sort of special attachment for a jack or something. But anyways guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on my buddy Mike. This is his E36, so if you've been watching some of the last few videos over the last, I don't know, month or so, doing some of the road trips, you would have seen this video, this car in the videos. This is my buddy's. So he picked up this, I think it's a Rotrex kit. It's made by, I want to say Active, because that's the branding that I see on here. But I think the supercharger itself is a Rotrex. But I don't know superchargers. But he got a good deal on it. It's like an $8,000 kit. He got it for like $3 because it fits like ass. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make it fit better. It's all hooked up. It's all plumbed up. He's got everything going on for it. It's just some of the piping doesn't fit, and then he also needs like an O2 sensor bung welded in, and then something about a bracket for the supercharger. So I kind of got an idea of where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do with it. Nothing crazy. It's just this doesn't have one, so you can kind of see here. This can wiggle a bit. So there's a bolt right down here you can't see because it's in the shadows, but I'm just going to build a little brace off of that, which is part of the block, and then attach that to one of the bolts on the pulley bracket thing and make it work. So let me show you what we're working with here. Main thing that he needs is, you can see there's no pipe right here. This is the cold side. So ideally there's a pipe that makes a U-turn and goes behind everything and then pops up to this pipe that is down here that you also cannot see because of the shadow. You can kind of see the coupler focus right there. So, but yeah, you get the idea behind it. So we're making that fit. This side fits pretty well, and then he has the other piece, the intake portion for this. It has the mass airflow sensor. So that is like a hard preformed plastic piece that's over there. And then just hooking up that for him just because he has it off for me to do this stuff. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm waiting on the material to show up. It's supposed to be here any time now, just waiting on the Amazon guy to drop it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the O2 bung, which he supplied. I just gotta pull one of the pipes off somewhere right around this area of the car. So let's jump into that. So this is what we're looking like under here. So only issue I'm running into is we need to add the O2 bung. I'm probably gonna do it on this one because there's more room. Up here, the issue is that these are obviously pretty clapped out looking, so he had mentioned some of the studs or something was up with one of these. Unfortunately, I can't just drop the one because these are attached back here at these cats or whatever these are. So both of these have to come off, but because of BMW engineering, it's like you can't really access that bolt because it's in the way of that. And then there's also a bolt up here. Thankfully, unthankfully, that one right up there is already busted off, so can't do much about that. So I'm sure this is probably the one he was talking about to be careful with, but I don't have a choice because it needs to come off. So otherwise, currently working on the back stuff here, which is also very crusty and stuff. Thankfully I got these two bolts out. Gotta start working on these ones right here. Yeah, definitely not an Arizona original car. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna keep working on this. Just kind of wanted to give you guys a look at what we're dealing with down here. But yeah, once I finish breaking those bolts free and those bolts free over there, then I can start, then I can drop this midsection. I already unhooked the O2 sensor connectors, which also I've never seen this style O2 sensor before. So that's really weird. Yeah, very strange. So yeah, getting there. This thing is stupid heavy. But yeah, so this is out. I just gotta find, I tried scratching a mark in here. I just gotta figure out where it was. And then I can weld the bung in. Alright, got the O2 sensor bung just migged on, nothing fancy. That should be in a good spot. I didn't have a sensor to verify, but that was where my scratch mark was up top there, so it should be plenty fine because the flange is up here, so that should give it a little bit of angle over there. And yeah, I'll find out for sure once I bolt this thing up, but yeah, that should be good. Now I gotta muscle this thing back onto the car because this thing weighs a metric ton. Got the header, well, I don't want to say header, got the bottom portion of the header with the midsection of the exhaust put back on. O2 sensor bung looks like it'll clearance just fine. Looks like I got it in a good lucky spot. Still wait on the freaking piping to be delivered. I thought it would have been here by like noon. It's basically 1 o'clock now. So I don't think there's much else I can do other than I'm gonna bolt on the piping setup. Oh, I still gotta I can start on the bracket for this. So like I said, there's a little bolt back there. I'm just gonna make like a little L bracket, use a small piece of tube and another L bracket to bolt to this hole right there. And that should do it just fine. Nothing super fancy or tricky, but that should brace that, and that gives me something to do while I'm waiting for the pipe. This is a little bracket that I've come up with so far. You can see I just used that bolt down there, added a bolt there, 2 little pieces of flat stock, and then just this bent piece of round stock. And then I'm gonna just make a little plate, like triangle plate with a dimple die in the middle, just to make it look a little bit cleaner. But I'm gonna pull this off. I'm out of MIG gas, and so I just tacked it up poorly with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off really quick, go TIG it up, and then obviously cut the little gusset plate for it and bolt it back up, and that'll be a good enough brace, I hope. There we go. Nothing super fancy, but it looks better than just the rod. So it's a little hot. It looks a bit cooked, so probably just gonna end up painting it black. Continuing progress on the C36, getting slightly less frustrated because things are starting to come together. I don't know why I just chopped this piece off because I'm still waiting on the stupid pipe to show up, but this piece of pipe that I cut open is way thicker than normal. This is like almost like 14 gauge or something instead of the normal like 16. So I got my little bracket put on. It helped. It's not foolproof. It needs a bracket on the backside, but I don't want to go drilling into his car without his permission, because my idea is kind of make a kind of like a claw and then bolt it to the shock tower with like a Rivnut type thing, but whatever. It is what it is. Right now I'm just waiting on the pipe to show up. I'm trying to plan out my routing for the pipe. But yeah, anyway, Isaiah and Antoine showed up, and this dude picked up another freaking bucket. Look at this. Any of you Toyota fanboys out there understand.
2000 Toyota Celica GTS. Bought it for $1,000, and I grabbed the wrong size socket.
Yeah, so he's here just to help, well, clean it out mostly. So obviously pretty nasty in here. The front is twice as bad as the back. So custom two-tone paint job with that low pro radio antenna. Got those JDM Yo carbon fiber taillights.
You just pointed out was going in the
drift car, so it's got a rear bumper delete.
To put in context, he did have the bumper. I didn't want it.
Yeah, so it at least runs and drives and shifts. So he just, I mean, obviously then the cosmetics and stuff he was saying, and mostly just needs like a body control module thing that goes in there, because the stuff like the windows and all the electronics there don't want to work. But I guess it's a pretty solid point A to point B car. Now he's just trying to make it look better. I don't know. What's your take on it?
I don't know. What? He said, "What's my take on it?"
I mean, VTEC sounds pretty nice.
Lift.
I mean, lift.
Alright, well.
A little sweaty.
Yeah. Everything is pretty crusty in here.
This interior came out a lot better than the Mazda's.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much did.
The Mazda took forever.
Gosh dang, this is a car, like...
This car's gross. The dude I bought it from definitely did not care about this vehicle in any way, shape, or form.
Amazon's trying to make me lose money today since it's like 5 o'clock and they still haven't dropped off the material yet, or the package or whatever. So I'm pretty butthurt, but I mean, at least his car is much, much cleaner and smells much better now.
Way better.
Yeah, I mean, Still has to source the rear carpet or whatever, but overall, like the inside, way better. Seats are still pretty stained up, but I mean, some seat covers can hide that, and then just re-vacuum that last little bit really quick, and yeah, it looks pretty minty nonetheless. Back out here the next day, Amazon finally came through, got the material, so now I can finish up this pipe. So we left off yesterday after we cleaned up Isaiah's car a bit, where I have this piece already cut, ready to be added, because he wanted this piece to go like here instead, because before it was tucked way up, like unseeable up there. I don't know how they intended it to fit the blow-off valve to begin with, because it's a bigger blow-off valve. So we're gonna add this here. I already made my little line where I need to cut there. So I'm gonna pull this charge pipe off and then weld this in place. And as for doing the rest of it, it's more or less straightforward. I just gotta tinker with it, because the pipe would normally come right between here, this fitting, and here. Yeah, right here. And then kind of follow along the radiator, and then just loop around to right there. So you can kind of get the general idea by looking at the old one. Oh, don't want to drop the blow-off valve. So this would be the old pipe. This one just does not fit. As you can see, it was hitting a bracket, dented up pretty good. So we might be able to take this piece, slightly modify it, because it's all same 2.5 inch stuff, and make it work. But if not, I mean, I can just make it all new. That's what we got the material for anyway, but this already has the majority of the bend we need. So well, we'll try that stuff first, because it's new. I got the first 90 off of the coupler here, as you can see. So right now I'm doing the daunting task of preparing some pie cuts. I tried even just mocking up this other pipe down here, the one that came with the kit. It does not fit for absolute crap. So at the moment, currently mocking up some, or cutting up some pie cuts. That way I can get it to route kind of like around the AC compressor, and then between like the radiator and the lines. It's kind of hard to explain without showing you guys, but just take my word for it. I'm gonna cut these parts for a bit, get enough that I think that I need prepped, and we'll keep freaking chiseling away at it. Some of you guys may be wondering whether you do this type of stuff yourself or not, or whether you're just curious how pie cuts are made. So basically what you're doing is you're setting an angle, and you're determining that angle basically by just whatever you think you need. So for this case, my go-to is always 15-degree pieces of pie. So you got to remember though, a piece of pie is 2 sides of a cut. So this 15-degree piece total is actually 7.5 degrees, because 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 degrees. So if you come over here, you will see, well, maybe you won't see because the pipe is in the way, but you can see here I got like a little angle gauge. I have my angle gauge set to 7.5 degrees at the moment, and obviously that's what gets you your cuts. Now to make them consistent, most of your saws have a stopper like this. This one's nice, it's just a little bolt here. You can spin it. But to get them consistent, what I do is, before I even cut the tube, I take one of my markers. I personally like these guys, like this is from Walmart, this is the Heart brand, but the same style as Milwaukee. The ones that don't get gummed up by oil and debris. Super, super nice markers. Dirt cheap, they're like $3 for a pack at Walmart. And you basically just kind of mark your tube and then run a line all the way down. You can see I got that line going down, but then you'll also notice there I've got 2 marks on my saw. So I primarily just cut 3 and 2.5 inch. So you'll see the fresh paint line is 2.5, because I just added that, and then the dollar line above it, which I can still see, is 3 inch. So basically all I'm doing is I am lining the mark up with the middle of that line. Sorry for the camera focusing. I line it up in the middle of the line, and then once the cut is made, I spin the tube 180, and I have another Sharpie line on the back side, and I line it right back up again. And then at the end of the cut, you have consistent, even cuts like this, because if you don't line it up a total perfect 180, you'll notice that your pies don't line up center, and you kind of get this awkward, like skewed angle, and it's just not good. So little trick, takes an extra 1 minute, 2 minutes tops to mark everything out, and you get consistent cuts every time. This is definitely proven to be quite a tight fit, but you know what, we're making progress. This should be the second to last piece that I need. This is going to be the one that's coming down the engine bay, and hopefully a coupler on this end, and then connect to the intercooler. But it's turned into a Sunday fun day, as the boys have showed us. We got Javi and Efren, and Efren actually finally scooped an exhaust for his car. So this whole video has been kind of like a guest appearance special type thing since we did Isaiah's crap yesterday. But his boy scooped an HKS dual exit because he's anal about keeping both bumper spots filled. But
yeah, so yeah, I like the stock little grooves in the rear, and I think it looks awkward without it. So yeah.
But he got a good deal on this. It's brand new with gaskets and everything. The guy had it on for like a couple days and didn't like how it sounded, so he scooped it for a deal. Yeah, he's gonna be kind of slapping that. I don't even know where we are in this video, so if we got time, I'll check after this clip, probably film a little bit of that, but they're more working in the background while I'm working to get this stuff done. But yeah.
Feeling the sauce.
What?
A little dusty, but oh yeah.
Alright, so say that again.
It's a flex, man. Look at this guy. He got charging ports in his toolbox. Like, what the hell? Yeah. That's sick.
He was just asking for like a little brick thing, and I was like, what are you talking about? This thing has built-in USB ports. He's like, what? That's a flex.
I don't know, man. This guy.
You gotta level up. That's where all my money goes, is I spend it on fancy toolboxes and tools and equipment.
Money well spent, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, I know.
I first know 5 days old. Anyways.
Alright, so I got the pipe done. I'm waiting for it to cool off. Papa Doge showed up. He's a long time no see.
Yeah. It's working.
So I got bullied like from using this like quick waxing. Like metal polish or metal
Why the hell would you use that anyway?
Look at it.
It looks like hazy dog shit.
All right, use the proper stuff on that one and see the difference.
Yeah,
all right?
heat that up. It's gonna be straight.
Yeah, no, that looks like hazy dog piss.
Bullied. I literally was like, "You're not gonna polish that before you put it on."
Oh,
He
dude, look at
immediately
that.
just starts wiping it down.
see
I don't need any compound. Hey, Chris, you have some compound.
I said I never used this.
Just look at the difference between
just
these
like
two.
No, just
BS.
That's not
It's like the
quick wax.
commercials
some of
you
that
get, like
in
at 3 in the
there.
morning.
Microfiber.
Like you wake
Get some
up
of that
to.
clean
gotta get all the
side.
wax off it first.
Yeah, there you go.
You know how to do it, so
look
you
at
finish
that.
it.
I'm finishing his shit.
Okay. That does look better.
Yeah.
Just like a hair. Like if you were to take a picture side by side, it'd be the same
Take a
shit.
picture side by side.
You're taking a
On
video.
your nasty side.
And no, that's you know which one is which now. So like
Yeah,
you can
that
see
one.
the difference. If I were to put it on Instagram, whatever, man.
You a clown.
I was over here pulling an Efren.
Even Mike's monetized too. I said even Mike. Like it was a bad. Yeah, well, yeah, you got.
monetized finally?
I'm like at 900 subscribers.
You're like 100 subscribers away.
My watch hours I gotta get up too.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to make this work.
Everyone else like help them with like absolutely everything they need. It's great.
Why were you actually using quick wax? Like, what part of this says, it says makes paint pop and leaves it slick?
It says wax.
Hydrophobic polymer technology. What part of that says polish?
As in the goddamn name, it said wax.
Wax is not a polish.
Waxing it. When you wax and polish. Well, first of all,
Fit me is fit me.
I vibe with Chris's because he got him for a deal because he bought him off a crackhead or whatever. Anyone who pays full price for RPF ones, I lose a little respect for you. And anyone who buys Rota slips and puts them on a fucking Honda.
hey, I got Rota slips. You're about to put some on.
Like, I'm not gonna. Alright, look.
Yeah, right?
I'm not a wheel guy.
Spitting from a mouth that owns a dart.
And I love that box.
Alright, so this thing is just about done. Everything's pretty much bolted up. He's just putting on the last top piece right here.
Bracket I gotta line up and
Oh, yeah. The weird little bracket that I mentioned before in the video isn't for holding against the front of the supercharger. It's to go under the coupler to help brace it from the side. So that makes more sense to me. But yeah, this is the last piece, and then there's just one big long rubber hose for recirculation here. And this thing is ready to get back on the ground. Efren's still chipping away at his exhaust.
The longest exhaust install ever.
You're a bracket away from starting the car.
Yeah. Looks good
I had to
though.
polish it because everyone peer pressured me into like, man, put that metal polish on.
I've had to peer pressure. You should have had the desire to do it from the start.
Yeah.
I had a wax.
I had spray wax.
What's the hanger? Alright, Chris, we gotta delete the resonator, like, right meow.
So this is the first start.
Yeah.
Impressions?
It's too quiet. But
how's it sound revved up though?
yeah, I'm letting it cool up right now.
Does it sound like $500?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out right now.
$500 worth of weight savings.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I gotta rotate that thingamajigger.
Oh, the hanger?
Yeah, that's a little bit too high. I rotated right now, there's so much to the left, so I gotta rotate one more time. And look what we did.
So I think on this, I'm gonna take this pipe, just get like a little 90,
Oh, yeah.
and then just probably get another hose and just make this shorter so it plugs into there. It is like way too
That's
long.
such a weird hose for the kid, too.
Well, and this was like routed completely different, so we're not gonna be able to use this anymore anyways.
I gotta put the top down to get the full experience. It's a little different, but hang on. Give it some gas. I want to hear it, how it sounds.
Alright.
Like 2000?
Ready?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, no, when you're up in the driver's seat, all you hear is intake noise.
All right, Chris. Well, we're gonna be back for some work. We're gonna delete that fucking big ass muffler in the middle. And
resonator?
yeah, it's pretty beefy, so
Yeah.
I'll probably have you cut that out. And
Seems how I didn't pay for this, that'd be odd.
Since you already have a cat, like a normal cat, I would cut that out.
yeah.
Yeah, cut out the big muffler or the resonator up there, and that would at least like just put a piece of pipe in its place.
Yeah.
Get you a little bit more noise. I mean, already having the 2 mufflers and Heimholtz resonators.
Yeah. So we gotta get this schedule in like ASAP, cause
Yeah.
that ain't it.
Doge is just blaring his limiter, making him feel bad.
Feel better.
Sound of disappointment is what I just heard.
You just made him so mad. He was like,
You
"F
heard
you,
it from over
Doge." Like, it sounds so good. Wait, I'm gonna do him one better.
I mean, I'll rip the Celica if he wants to feel better.
It has been a long day, but hopefully you guys... Oh, somebody left their charger here. Well, anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was fun. Started out kind of on the boring side by myself, and then, you know, ended off with a great day hanging out with the boys. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with us while we were at it, getting some laughs in, hopefully. And we got some work done. We got the E36 finished up, so Mike was stoked on that. Efren's exhaust definitely could have been a little bit louder. He wants a high-flow cat, though, so that should waken up a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We had fun, had some good times, so... Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you have considered subscribing by now. That would help me out a bunch. If you want to help support the channel, though, you can find merch and stuff in the Big Cartel. I do have long sleeves for the last of these winter months, and I've also got some t-shirts in there. And I'm trying to come up with some new stuff soon, so hopefully you guys continue to support that. Anyways, guys, do what you love, think about the rest, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.